Welcome to BikeBeat, the channel where we break down the newest machines in the world of motorcycles with real rider insight. Today, we're diving deep into one of Honda's most talked about returns to the power cruiser segment, the 2026 Honda Sabre. A name that was once synonymous with muscular attitude and Japanese precision has been revived, and Honda is clearly aiming this machine at riders who want equal parts style, performance, and long-haul capability. This isn't just a cruiser. It's a statement that Honda is back in the fight for the modern power cruiser throne. Let's get into what makes the 2026 Sabre such a compelling bike: its features, design language, performance characteristics, new technology, Honda's strategy behind it, and of course, price. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of who this bike is for and whether it earns a spot on your shortlist. Right off the start, the first thing you notice about the Sabre is that Honda didn't play it safe. The silhouette is long, low, and aggressively stretched, yet noticeably modern. The front end uses a slightly raked-out fork angle, giving the bike that classic power cruiser lean, but with updated geometry that avoids the vague steering feel typical of older designs. The LED headlamp takes on a blade-inspired shape, paying visual homage to the name Sabre without feeling tacky or forced. A thin daytime running light traces a horizontal arc across the top, making it instantly recognizable from blocks away. Honda's designers have clearly aimed for a balance between minimalist muscle and premium presence. The fuel tank has deep sculpting that flows smoothly into the seat line, giving it the long torso cruiser look while still offering enough knee room for taller riders. The rear fender is short and tight, showing off the new 180-section rear tire. It's the kind of bike that looks like it's moving even when it's parked. But of course, a Sabre isn't a Sabre without serious power. The 2026 version is powered by Honda's updated 1084 cubic centimeters Unicam parallel twin engine, derived from the Africa Twin platform but heavily reworked for cruiser duty. It now pushes out a claimed 102 horsepower and a very usable 84 lb-ft of torque, with the focus clearly on mid-range punch. Honda redesigned the cam profiles, increased throttle body diameter, and retuned the intake resonance to create a more muscular delivery. The result? A power band that feels alive between 3,500 and 6,000 revolutions per minute, exactly where most cruiser riders spend their time. The bike uses a revised counterbalancing system to reduce vibration without eliminating that essential cruiser heartbeat. And for the first time, the Sabre gets dual exhausts, one on each side, giving the bike a symmetrical stance and a deeper, throatier sound profile. Honda claims they spent more development time on the exhaust note of this bike than any previous cruiser in their lineup, aiming for a tone that's authoritative without being obnoxious. Transmission options include a traditional 6-speed manual or Honda's newest DCT, which is quicker, lighter, and more responsive than previous versions. Honda refined the shift logic so that downshifts under heavy throttle feel more natural, and in manual mode the shifts are nearly instantaneous. Riders who have preferred the engagement of a clutch may find themselves surprisingly impressed by how direct and sporty the Sabre's DCT behavior has become. Now, let's talk about the chassis. One of the standout qualities of the Sabre is its new steel backbone frame, built to increase torsional rigidity while allowing enough flex for comfort. Honda has positioned the engine lower than before, helping drop the center of gravity and producing a surprisingly nimble feel for a bike in the power cruiser class. It's the kind of handling that encourages lane changes and spirited cornering rather than punishing you for trying. Suspension comes in the form of a 43mm Showa SFFBP front fork and a rear monoshock with remote preload adjustment. The damping is tuned more toward the sporty side of cruising, making the Sabre feel planted on backroads but still compliant enough for long-distance rides. If you've ever ridden a cruiser that feels great in a straight line but falls apart the moment you try to corner with pace, the Sabre is a refreshing exception. Braking is handled by dual 310mm front discs with radial mount 4-piston calipers and a 276mm rear disc. ABS is standard, and Honda's engine brake control works seamlessly with the system to reduce rear wheel skip on aggressive downshifts. For a bike with its length and weight, braking performance is impressively predictable. So what about tech? Honda packed the Sabre with a serious electronics suite, but without turning it into an overcomplicated gadget machine. The bike features a 5-inch full-color TFT display, complete with Bluetooth phone integration, turn-by-turn navigation, and customizable layouts. Riders can choose between minimalist gauges, a sport layout with a prominent tachometer, or a touring display with map priority. The Sabre also includes a full IMU-controlled electronics system, offering traction control, wheelie control, cornering ABS, and 3 main ride modes: Tour, Sport, and Urban. There's also a customizable user mode for riders who want fine-tuned behavior. Honda deliberately avoided giving the Sabre launch control, saying the bike is meant for strong real-world acceleration, not dragstrip theatrics. But don't worry, the torque curve gives you plenty of grin-inducing pull when the light turns green. Now, no cruiser discussion is complete without addressing comfort. The seat height lands at 27.5 inches, making it accessible for a wide range of riders. The ergonomics put the handlebars slightly forward but not to the point of shoulder strain, striking a balance between relaxed long-distance posture and an athletic stance for aggressive cornering. Honda also shaped the seat to hold the rider in place during hard acceleration, a detail some manufacturers overlook. Passenger accommodations received some attention as well. While the Sabre is predominantly a rider-focused machine, Honda included a removable passenger seat and optional backrest, making it flexible for two-up riding without compromising the bike's solo aesthetic. Lighting is full LED, including the turn signals, and Honda added a proximity-based security system that automatically arms itself when you walk away. Small touch, but appreciated in crowded city environments. Next, let's talk about the special design cues that truly differentiate this Sabre from the broader cruiser market. Honda blended its Japanese industrial design roots with subtle futuristic notes. You'll notice beveled aluminum trim touches, sculpted engine covers, and a vented radiator shroud that feels more like a sports bike than a cruiser. The matte color options also add to its modern identity. Honda is offering it in obsidian black metallic, midnight blue pearl, and crimson saber red, which unmistakably ties the color scheme back to the model's namesake. Another standout selling point is the Sabre's versatility. Many cruisers excel at style and straight-line power but compromise in day-to-day usability. Honda seems to be targeting riders who want one bike that can handle commutes, weekend canyon rides, and even medium-range touring. Optional accessories such as soft side cases, a fly screen, heated grips, and a small rear rack all integrate cleanly into the bike's silhouette. Nothing looks tacked on. Fuel capacity sits at 15.5 liters, and Honda claims a fuel economy rating of 47 miles per gallon, giving the Sabre respectable range for a mid-size power cruiser. With the DCT's efficiency and the lighter frame, real-world mileage may even exceed that for relaxed riders. That's it for this deep dive. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more long-form reviews like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to BikeBeat, and drop a comment telling us what part of the Sabre interests you most. Thanks for watching, and as always, ride safe, ride smart, and keep the passion alive.